So, with exits coming out of your ears, all Hollyoaks is probably looking like the most unsafe place to live right now. It's kind of wild, honestly, because when they announced that they were going to be cutting a lot of the characters and the screen time, and just, how many cast members were going to be on the show, it's like, okay, cool. And then, obviously, in 2024, the exits went crazy. I'll just pull up the exits for you right now. Okay, so that is all of the exits in 2024. All of them range from, like, dying to not. But yeah, I mean, and to be honest, towards the end of the year, this was kind of the cutoff point. This was when everything was fine. So they were already 11 departures deep. And then suddenly Romeo's gone, Sharon's gone, Jen Williams, Hunter, Carter, Goldie, Zane, and then it just goes on to 38. And it's just how it works in soaps. Like, at the end of the day, sometimes you just naturally run out of room for the characters, and also they were getting clearly gutted, and there wasn't really much they could have done. But if we look at 2025, already we've had 4 exits. And now it has been nearly 3 months, which is fine. But they've also been playing a lot more with the characters. So, like, obviously, Dilly's dead. JJ's prison. Zoe's gone. Abe's dead. And it's just become a lot more volatile, because in these episodes, and basically this is the angle for me to actually do a video about Hollyoaks, because there wasn't that much important that actually happened this week. Do I really care about the cat politics where Steve's angry that Jeremy got rid of Fernando? I'm alright, mate. The cat was only established last week. I don't care about Fernando. Sorry, boys. I'm not trying to be a knobhead, but sorry, I just don't care. I just don't care about Steve's cat. I love Steve. Don't care about his cat. Cute cat, cute name. Reminds me of one time I was looking to adopt a cat, and I stopped after I saw a cat with the name Elvis Pursley and went, "Oh, you raw, dodgy boy. You raw." Who gave them the name Elvis Pursley and then abandoned him? But then it made me realize that maybe they just died. But this week, oh, am I getting it back? I'm getting it back. Reel them back in. We're seeing a lot of, like, supposed exits, right? Like, technically, we're seeing the exit of Kat and Jacob, who is a person who basically, it seems like they've been human trafficked and are used as, like, pawns in the game. Kat lied and said that her and Darren slept together and made it look like it, so she could get Frankie isolated, so Rex, Grace, and D.I. Banks could isolate her, which obviously now they're trying to... I just don't know why you... Maybe it's an odd phrase, but I don't know why you'd shit where you sleep, right? Like, if you are grooming these kids for... If you are grooming these kids for some crime, why would you just go for kids right under you? I guess it's kind of, readily available, readily accessible. But yeah, it's just a weird one. But, Kat and Jacob, it says that they're leaving. As of Rex saying, you've got a new job, time to go. It's a 2-person job now, time for you to leave. Vicky was bundled in the back of a van by Grace. And, people, I don't think anybody's really, like, people are saying, like, she's dead. She's not dead, is she? Like, she's not dead. Vicky will be back. Vicky and Frankie are the future of Hollyoaks, in my opinion. It's just a matter of time whether they decide to leave or whether they decide to stay on. And whether Hollyoaks decides to stay on as a whole. And Channel 4 doesn't, like, implode. It's like, Channel 4's like the snake eating its own tail. It does what? Aurora Borealis or whatever? Oh, let me check that. Aurora Borealis is Ouroboros. Ouroboros. Ouroboros? I don't know how you say it. Look, they're similar. Ah, bloody hell, me. Sort it out. But, like, I think Vicky's just taking a break. I think Vicky will be gone for a while, and then she'll come back with a vengeance. Because, like I said, I think that she is a character that they want to be. I'm not saying but they've also compared her to Mercedes, which is kind of bold in a way, because, Mercedes is Hollyoaks' one and only queen. Like, and yeah, sure, you have the characters like who are approaching that status, like Sienna. Who else? Who else is an icon of Hollyoaks? Out of the current cast, it's mostly just Mercedes and Sienna, honestly. Oh, Nancy, of course. Nancy's up there. Diane's not. Diane is most certainly not. I'm still amazed she's around, honestly. She was on the chopping block for a long time. And she still might be, but it felt like her time was done. But yeah, she'll be back because they want her to be a character for the future, just like Frankie. It's just the difference is it feels like Anya Lawrence will be happy to stick with Hollyoaks for years, and Frankie or Isabel Smith will probably in a couple years be like, yeah, I want to see if I can do anything else before I devote my life to Hollyoaks. But who knows? And Grace has also proceeded to show her true colors, and she tried to get rid of who she thought was the undercover copper, because Dodger returned this week, and Max and Dodger broke up because Maxine was just tired of all the secrecy and all this, felt like she was just being used for information rather than actually being an equal as such, right? She thought, I'm just being used here. No one wants to be used. Sorry, excuse me. So she then starts kissing Robbie, which Grace believed that the person she's been seeing is the undercover copper. But in the end, obviously, Robbie is not the undercover copper. And Grace and Rex point a gun at him and decide that it's time to go. And do I think Robbie's gone? Honestly, that one's a bit more suspect. Because, look, is it a bad thing to kill off Robbie Roscoe? Yeah. But also, Robbie in this current iteration is, it's not great. Robbie was never the most convincing. He was always a bit of a cheeky chappy, got a bit of a criminal edge, but him turning into Blue in a way, I'm glad they stopped going that direction. But alternatively, they also made it a kind of interesting thing to now Grace and Rex are trying to run things, which seems like it's working. Could I see Robbie being gone for good? Probably. I don't know if they'll actually address it or anything, or they'll just decide, we'll just let that sit for a while. But with that point being, Hollyoaks is a dangerous place to be. You got Jez killing people. You got Grace and Rex disposing of people. It's not, it's not a very safe village to be. One thing I'd like to see more of, which we haven't seen lately, I would like to see Sienna and Cleo a bit more. I know they went, hey, that's a thing, and then they stopped it. But I would like to see that a bit more. Honestly, I'd like to see John Paul do something else, because he is tied to now a serial killer. And I highly doubt John Paul will die, because I think John Paul's never going to be a main guy, but he's a very good pillar of stability. You're going to get the same consistency from the actor who, has turned his life around. Not like he was having a bad problem, but he got buffed. What? Fuck, Jesus. Hello, John Paul. Hello, sir. um, but he seems like a good core piece of what they want to bring. Just like most of the McQueens. Most of the McQueens are quite safe because it feels like a lot of the characters they want for the future are Cleo, Joel, Lee. Obviously, these aren't McQueens, but you know, like they want Cleo, they want Joel, they also want Mercedes. They're having a lot of these characters who may not have had so much of a shine at a different point in the show to step up and stay and just generally be rewarded for their loyalty, which I think is a cool thing. But it is a weird precedent to set because it's like how much cutting is enough, but it's also knowing that in teasing it, Hannah Cheers, I believe it was Hannah Cheers, said, "We're gonna make Silas look like Tom Cunningham," which is like, oh, I mean, admittedly, Silas's kill count was a bit inflated by the end. But if that is the case, it's quite a worrying sign that, you know, we're probably going to see a lot of these kills. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a good thing because serial killer, but also not because you can understand at a different time in the show if there is a much larger group of people. But with the cast already being on its knee, like it's a bit of a bold choice. It's a bit of a bold choice, but still interesting to see. I still don't know how to feel about Grace and Rex because they are trying to reestablish themselves in the crime world, and I'm sure the way they'll make them feel less bad is just simply by having them in the end kill D.I. Bank and take over, but save Frankie, save Dylan. But yeah, in the end, it's still it's just a hard one to get behind. Is my problem. Like, how do you? I know I've said this in videos before, but like, how do you support people who are now murderers, human traffickers, and abusers in a sense? Because maybe not like physically, but they are extorting people and like exploiting them. So it just leaves it in a weird place. But yes, Vicky is gone, probably just for a break. Will Robbie be back? Probably, but even then, so we're kind of, I don't know, a bunch of the families who were established, we're kind of starting to figure out what pieces they actually wanted, and those ones are the ones that can be kept. Robbie gonna stick around? Probably, but I'll also happily not see him for a while. But I'll also, if he is no longer the big like crime boss guy, and he does come back to his roots of just being like a Larry Roscoe, that's fine by me. It's just you could never really take him seriously as the big gangster character because it's Robbie fucking Roscoe. It's Robbie Roscoe, boy. He's not blue. At least with Dave, you could understand why he would be, but Robbie, nah, no chance. But yeah, what do you think about this week's Hollyoaks? Tell me in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Join me in the next one. Bye bye.